Not worth a Continental. Fiat script, bills of credit. Helicopter money. The good old fiat horseshit. Now, I want to get to the point here. Central bank digital currency in your digital currency wallet. Typing in a billion, trillion, typing it into a computer takes seconds. That's how much it costs to create billions in counterfeit securities. Just, somebody with magical fingers at a big Wall Street trading firm. I've heard the Citadel and a fellow by the name of Ken Griffin. He creates lots of out of thin air securities. And I've got a couple of friends around the United States that claim their families are involved in keystroking securities and counterfeiting them by the billions. Now, one thing we gotta take a look at here is this asswipe tearing down the east wing of the White House for a great big gilded golden, I'm sorry, man. It's a party crib. The party crib of Trump, called the new gilded ballroom, where they'll, have all the babes in the evening gowns, and they'll have all the escorts and the hot little maids and waitresses that wait on all the ultra wealthy that come up there to party down with the Trumps. Yeah. And all the other presidents too, like the Clintons and the Bushes and the Obamas and the Bidens. They sure do love their billionaires. Hell yeah, man. And then, of course, you've got this entire country operating on this keystroke money. Now, I'm going to tell you why this pisses me off. My mother and father worked their whole lives to build a marina at Harris Bay on Lake George, New York. 600 acres, pretty big marina, nice, decent home. Decent home, wasn't beautiful, but it was a decent house. And then Kennedy got murdered in 1963 in Dealey Plaza in Dallas. And Lyndon Baines Johnson come in about 20 months later, and they enacted what's called the Coinage Act of 1965. That's where they took away all the silver, $70 an ounce silver. They took all the silver away, and then Nixon took all the gold. And all we got left is their keystroked, printed up out of thin air on cotton linen rag, fiat bullshit currency. That's what it is. I'll argue it with anybody, particularly John Roberts of the Supreme Court of the United States and the rest of those black-robed bastards, and the Congress and the Senate and the executive office of the president. I'll be more than happy to argue it with all of them. But in short, let's get back to what I'm talking about here. For nothing, for free, the government could have just worked with my parents and helped them get through their crisis of their marina docks being wiped out year after year after year after year by the flushing of the Lake George water levels during the wintertime. That's going out to that lying sack of shit, Dave Wick, at the Lake George Park Commission there, Dave Wick, in your flushing operations of the Lake George toilet bowl basin. Because all the bedrock around that lake with the 6,000 septic tanks is contaminated rotten with all that sewage from all those 6,000 septic tanks. The bedrock and the fractured bedrock is immensely infected with all kinds of bacteria, all kinds of viruses, and all kinds of slop that works its way down into the bedrock through the micropores. Look that up. Bedrock micropores and how bedrock becomes contaminated. Dave Wick. you lying sack of shit, Dave Wick. Now let's get back to how my parents got shafted. Everything they worked for, it could have been resolved. The government could have just, keystroked and, printed up a few 100 bills. It doesn't cost the government shit. It doesn't cost the government shit to create trillions. Right out of the thin goddamn air for all you stupid zombie morons, particularly those jackasses in the MAGA movement. You take those marble armrests that you want to install at the Kennedy Center for the Arts, Trump, and you take all your bathroom remodeling and tearing down the East Wing and your 747 and your millions upon millions upon millions of dollars and playing golf. And what's that guy's name there? Kash Patel, and using FBI jets and fleets of brand new Mercedes-Benzes and all this other crap, all this other vast, enormous amounts of money that's been stolen by the CIA and their boy, the CIA Mossad, and their boy, the FBI CIA Mossad, old Jeffy Poo Epstein and company. You take the whole thing, Donald Trump, and jam it up your ass. And that goes double for you, Bill Clinton. And double for you, triple for you, Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Yeah. When is this country going to wake the hell up, or is it going to continue to remain worthless as a Continental?